Strength, endurance, willpower, but to push to their limits, mankind is always hunting for the next extreme. Few modern races can match the standards that push men to the breaking point, but one such race that meets the limits to require in Alaska Iditarod.
The Iditarod is dog sledding race like no other. The race consists of 1 musher and 6 to 21 dogs. They travel 1,000 miles from Anchorage to Nome over the course of several days. It takes mushers anywhere from 8 days to 30 or more days to complete. The Iditarod begins in Anchorage with its ceremonial start, but the actual race restarts in Willow. However, in years with poor snow conditions, the restart will be held in Fairbanks.
And we sent Scott and Pedro out to the restart in Fairbanks to ask mushers why they chose to compete in the last great race.
I'm Scott Senator here at the 2017 Iditarod. Have you done this race before? Is this your first time?
No, this is number 9. This is my 9th one.
Have you ever done this before?
Nope, this is my rookie year.
Why do you come out here to compete?
Because I love dogs, love winter, love solitude, and challenges.
And why do you compete?
No, I love the dogs. I love Alaska. There's a lot of history involved, and if you haven't traveled by dog team on the Yukon River under a full moon, you haven't lived yet, and it's pretty special.
So why do you come out here to compete?
I just love training the dogs. It's an excuse to work with the dogs and go camping with them. So that's what brings me back every year.
What do you do to train your dogs for this race?
Put lots of miles on, just lots of time on the sled, out running the dogs, getting them used to different trail conditions, all kinds of stuff.
What advice would you give future mushers?
Future mushers, just take care of your dogs. Every musher knows that. That's why we're all into the sport. It's pretty much the dog training. I think some people get into it because they think it's another outdoor sport, but there's so much more involved in it because you're working with animals. You're working with dogs. And if everybody keeps that as their first priority, everything will work out right.
What other advices would you give people who are about new to this and want to compete?
Well, I think the number one advice I would give is not to be in a hurry. The first few days of the race, you need to get in a rhythm of running and resting and feeding, running, resting, and feeding, and because it's a long way, and you got to get a good schedule, get the dogs comfortable with the schedule you're going on.
What do you think is the hardest part about competing?
It's 1,000 miles on a dog sled. There's so many things that can happen. Being in a hurry is what's hard. If we were going to take our time, it of course gets easier. But we're trying to walk that line of going as fast as we can without tipping over and getting exhausted. So.
Yeah.
The Iditarod draws people from all walks of life to compete in the most extreme and beautiful form of racing. The draw is so strong that even repeat winners return year after year.
There's several of us who are looking for number 5, and it seems elusive. Been many of us who have had 4 for many years, and Dallas Seavey last year came up to the 4-win category, and I know he's hot to trot, so we'll see if somebody can pull it off.